What is going on, everyone? It's Scott back from Croc. Guys, today we are seeing a little bit of recovery from the past 2 days' sea of red. We are now back up to the $300 billion market cap. Still not as exciting and not as great as we'd like to be, but we do like to see that the floor of 300 billion seems to be right around where we are seeing a lot of comfort. And as a result, we're seeing I'd say quite a bit of green in the market. Not a huge gains, but we're seeing some money flow back in, and that's a good sign. So, guys, it seems like over the past couple days, a lot of speculation has arose around why did the market essentially drop off, and we're seeing like 10 to 15% drops across various top 100 cryptocurrencies. And people were actually pointing to the fact that CoinRail got hacked. Some were saying that it was simply because of that, and kind of market, the FUD kind of started spreading, and markets were kind of panicking, and as a result, people were selling off. And just reading this article here about the CoinRail hack, it appears like all of the money in CoinRail that they try to hacking, which accounts to $40 million in stolen cryptocurrencies, TRX, so Tron, NPXS, Dent, Aston X. These are just some of the exchange coins that were stolen. These hackers actually ran them through a service called Bitblended. And if you guys are not familiar with Bitblended, and I wasn't very familiar with it myself until reading this article, essentially what it does is it's a service that you can actually move your bitcoins to, and you basically will become completely anonymous. So you can submit your coins to these guys, and they will basically blend it up so that no one can trace where your coins have come from. And the reason for this service, and the reason why it's so popular, and people kind of talk about hackers using it, is because there's tons of actually blockchain analysis companies that will actually go and basically, because the blockchain is public knowledge, they can actually trace and figure out where your coins have originated, who's purchased your coins, who you've traded with, because some people's coins and some people's addresses are actually public knowledge. Bitcoin is in no ways completely safe from people's eyes. So this service has been completely, I'd say, very popular with the hackers. And yeah, just goes to show you that hackers will do whatever it takes to make their to launder their money. Now, the next one here is from CZ over at Binance. And basically, he's pointing out the fact that the past couple drops in cryptocurrencies have been, a commonality. We've seen these in the past. And basically, what he's talking about here is many people seem to think Bitcoin price was flat before this year, as they appear to be on this graph. To the old timers, it's the same pattern every year, just the units on the left is different. And what they're basically talking about is typically there's a huge crash, and then there's a massive gain thereafter, and this kind of repeats itself year after year. And just like I made a video about the other day, this is apparently Bitcoin's 300th funeral, right? People are basically saying Bitcoin's dead, get out while you still can. And then what ends up happening is it will basically come back stronger than ever. And that's basically the bears that are going to be leading that way. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is the TRX USDT pair. So Tron is now a pair against Tether on Binance. And the reason that this is so exciting is because whenever the market kind of crashes a little bit, people typically move their funds into Tether because it's market immune. It's backed by the US dollar, yada, yada, yada. And what ends up happening is once you're in Tether, you can only go to certain pairs, especially on Binance. So now you can actually trade directly to Tron when these sort of things happen. So Binance is, they're seeing that Tron is becoming very popular, as well as Dun dun dun. Tron's mainnet is launching between June 21st and June 25th. So that is like 2 weeks away. And I think Binance is basically gearing up. They want to prepare. They want to make sure that everyone has the means to get into Tron if they absolutely want to. And this is just showing that these exchanges are prepared to basically trade against any single, I would say, top 10 coin. It's only a matter of time until more of these coins get trading pairs against Tether. The other article I want to talk to you guys about, it's not really an article, but it's this Twitter post about Fabian. He's just some small-time Twitter, guy. But what he did is he posted this little article on keep calm because we're going to the moon, and he's showing a graph here on the left compared to the right on technical analysis on why the market's basically gonna moonshot. You can see these two arrows here and very comparable. The other one I want to talk to you guys about is Wells Fargo. They're now banning purchasing cryptocurrencies with credit cards. And this is just another bank that has decided to, cut off the strings in terms of buying cryptocurrencies. And it just kind of sucks because people don't have a lot of means to buy cryptocurrencies as it is. And they're shutting people off. They don't, banks don't make a lot of money on cryptos. These exchanges are making all the money. So banks are making it extremely difficult for people to actually buy cryptocurrencies. Now, I don't personally see the detriment. Why would, banks are going to make their money on the crypto. Banks are going to make their money on the interest payments as it is. So maybe they feel like people aren't going to actually be able to pay it back. And the debt's going to basically, just linger. But that's ultimately their business model. That's how they make money. They make money on the long-term interest. People can't pay off their loans. Banks become rich, and so on. However, we're seeing this just to become a trend, right? Bank of America announced it. Citigroup announced it. In Canada, I know RBC has announced it, as well as I'm looking on Quadriga here. And the only banks that you can actually deposit funds into are basically TD and Scotia, and very few credit unions. And if you're not part of those, sorry, you can't buy cryptocurrencies anymore. And the reason that Quadriga CX is so popular, it's actually the number one exchange in Canada, is because their fees are so low. So obviously, people are going to be attracted to that. And now, unfortunately, I can't do business with Quadriga anymore. I have to start getting my cryptocurrencies from other exchanges. Maybe I have to look into Kraken. Who knows? So that kind of sucks. Yeah. And then finally, what I want to talk to you guys about here is EOS. And basically, EOS just finished their mainnet a couple days ago. Lots of positive news is in the market. However, their coin hasn't really done, the whole mooning. It's basically gone down from like 1450 to what is it now? 1147. So it's actually gone down like a couple bucks. But Cypherglass is a block producer, and they're actually putting up a $100,000 bounty for a developer to make a wallet, an EOS wallet, on either the Trezor or the Nano. So basically, that's pretty cool. And he made this little post here today, actually, and it hasn't gotten a lot of publicity, I would say. But he just goes to show you that, he wants basically EOS to be more, adopted. He wants people to buy into EOS, and basically people right now that have EOS can only store it on a software wallet, or they have to store it on an exchange. And in his opinion, that is not secure, and I definitely agree with him. So he's putting up, or his company's putting up $100,000, and I think that's really awesome. I think it's just going to give US more exposure. And right now it's top 5 crypto coin, and I think it still has so much potential. It's really, it's worth so much more, right? So anyways, guys, just want to make this quick video just to kind of share some of these new exciting articles that I've read about. We're seeing that markets sitting at around 300 billion, and the Bitcoin dominance still at 39%. Who knows? This is only June, and McAfee's predicting 15,000 for Bitcoin by the end of June. He's saying, guys, just hold on for 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks. That's all you got to do. So who knows what could happen in the next 3 weeks? It's anyone's. It's kind of unknown, right? So with that being said, guys, thanks for watching the video. We'll talk to you guys on the next one.